finally here. The entrance should be nearby.
Whoa! Where'd the Torii Gate come from?
It's getting worse again. This is a place I once sealed off with my own hands. The entrance to Raiden Makoto's realm of consciousness. It looks like she will no longer allow me to do with this body as I please.
Huh? What are you talking about? And who is she?
Follow me.
Where are we Paimon's dizzy. Where did we get sucked into this time? Whoa. This place... Look! Look over there! It's another A!
We meet again, traveler. This body is an assistant to the One Within, but it is also the guardian of the rule. Should the One Within wish to stray from the rules, this body shall stand in her way.
Wait! Paimon knows that voice! Is that... the puppet?
You have wandered the realm in my body, and you appear to have grasped the true essence of eternity. You believe your present self has greater certainty than your former self. Thus, you believe your present self is correct, don't you? But have you really been enlightened with new ideas? Or have you been degraded by irreversible erosion? I'm here to show you my answer. We are both warriors, and the dialogue we must now have shall be conducted by the blade alone.
Wait! The atmosphere in here just took...
The discomfort I was experiencing earlier was caused by the Shogun rejecting my as she indicates. Once I started entertaining the idea of change, I became hostile, but inside a realm of consciousness. I exist independently of her. She cannot affect me in this way. Though she is a puppet, the Shogun has her own consciousness too. When necessary, she appears here to confront me.
Paimon gets that everyone has their internal battles and stuff, but not like this! It's a bit... Hey, showdown with the Shogun?
The rules I set for the Shogun, I would not try to change her.
Isn't there any other way? Can't you talk it through or something? But...
My form, it inherits every action, determination, only rules. Those were my thoughts when I created you. Now, they are towering obstacles that I have no choice but to overcome. You wish to make yourself my enemy? I am your past, the everlasting law, the guardian of eternity. And I am she who promised a dream to her subjects. Raiden A. In the end, even the proud and mighty Oni maiden was cut down and disgraced. Though your blade has been cleansed of her blood and filth, never shall it shine as brightly as it once did. Weak. Inferior. Inazuma shines eternal! There is no escape! The Kitsune sakura blossoms that once filled the skies fell to the ground as pitch-black rain. As long as the ley lines flow, the relentless erosion of time will never stop.
She's completely recovered?
This world, a fleeting shadow. Pathetic. Weak. insolent! Shine down! Your verdict is decided. Be gone! Now you shall perish! There is no escape! The divine lightning that envelops all of Inazuma will fade silently into the clouds. There shall never be another. Never. For the rest of time. Illusion shattered! Inazuma shines eternal! Euthymia crumbles before...
Have you finally defeated her?
It appears your martial prowess has not dulled. But how long can your will remain strong?
How the heck?
In this realm of consciousness, her existence is tenacious indeed. She was built to resist erosion. Her will is stronger than any other living being's, including you and me.
Then, does that mean this is gonna be a never-ending battle?
Maybe. But I have to prove to her that my present will is no product of erosion. The future I shall forge will be a grand undertaking. One, if I don't do this, the Shogun's rules can never change, and Inazuma can never move. This is my duty. No matter how long this battle may last, months, years, centuries, and no matter 500 years ago, here in the present, they rely on... It is about time that I learned to trust them. I understand that. But if the dreams of which Makoto spoke, I fight for the everlasting future of Inazuma. However long the battle may last, I vow to the subjects of Inazuma that I shall during my absence.
But this means that...
Pass on my words.
Looks like we got kicked out. Oh, what do we do? Are we really just gonna leave A and the Shogun to keep on duking it out in there forever? She was making sense, and maybe this is the only way to change the Shogun's rules, but still... Right? Also, A can be pretty stubborn at times, and has a history of rushing into difficult situations. What if she gets too obsessed with winning, and she forgets why she's there in the first place? It could happen, and then she might never leave again. Yeah, we should help her out, like we did last. Is there any way we can cut down how long she needs to spend in there? Or, you know, help her win the fight? Well, whatever, we can't let it... Oh, but we also... Okay, well, first things first, we gotta find a way back in. Oh, come on, brain juice, don't feel Paimon now! Oh, you're right. Who knows if...
Talk to the Electro Archon whenever you are troubled.
Another bad one? Let me try again.
Someone's not in the best of moods. Let me guess. You're all tangled up in another situation and need me to unravel it for you. I hope you realize how lucky you are. If it was anyone else, I don't think I'd have the patience to keep greeting them with a smile after the first few times.
But you're always smiling.
That was a figure of speech, do you understand? Nitpicking my turns of phrase. The sheer audacity.
Oh, yeah. Something really big's happened. It's A.
Oh, okay, I see. So, A's decided to palm Inazuma off on the humans, while she goes off on her own to fight a fierce battle that doesn't even have an end date. Impossibly stubborn. jumps straight to the most extreme course of action imaginable, presumes her sheer will can see her through, despite a near impossible goal that requires nothing short of the very peak of her abilities. Yes, that sounds like A all right. You know as well as I do that she's always been like this. Why start fretting about it now? Rushed into it without thinking. Well put. Oh, she acts like such a child sometimes. So you seem to be under the impression that I am able to offer some sort of help? Who gave...
Is she playing dumb? She's doing this on purpose, for sure.
Aha, you're learning, little one. But really, the truth of the matter is that I don't know much more about Raiden Makoto's realm of consciousness than you do. All I know is that it's the foundation of the sacred Sakura, and from what I've heard, it's a little different from A's plane of euthymia.
Because Raiden Makoto is no longer alive?
Not just because of that. The nature of the space itself is different in some way. But I can only speculate. You're the ones who have actually been there, so you tell me. What was it like? Anyway, we needn't worry about the details too much. It'll just be a little difficult to explain things later on, that's all. First things first, follow me to the entrance. Now then, I always have my ways. It's just a question of how crafty I need to be. To the outsider, the realm of consciousness is a very abstract concept. Luckily, I'm A's familiar, so I can sense her rough whereabouts. In other words, even though I can't pinpoint the exact spatial location of this realm, I can still send you to where A is.
So, it's abstract, but has a location, but you don't know where it is, but you can still send us there. What?
Yes, no need to try and understand it. Let me put this simply. Right now, she is surrounded by chaos. Everything is turbulent and disordered. If you try to force your way in, you could be swept away by a giant wave that sets you down in an unknown corner of space-time. This is precisely why when entering the plane of euthymia, it's much safer if you place your consciousness in a physical object first.
What? Alright, well, Paimon's staying here then. You two...
Suit yourself. Worst case scenario, all we stand to lose is A. So what's the big deal?
You... Paimon's had it up to here with both of you! Fine!
Oh. Well, if you're quite sure, then of course. Now... I say... Oh, nothing. It just seems extraordinarily chaotic, that's all. My suspicions have been confirmed. By the way, remember to focus constantly on your heartfelt wishes when you enter inside. Only a strong enough will can prevent you from being swallowed by the giant waves of abstract space. Only if you are strong enough can I deliver you to the right destination. Well then, the door's open. Hop on in. I'll stay outside and provide what stability I can. I'll be ready to respond if anything happens. I'm placing my god in your capable hands. For my sake, and for Inazuma's, please. Bring her back.
Riko, you better know what you're doing!
That's enough chatter. Get to work. Remember to focus constantly on your heartfelt wishes when you enter inside. Only if you are strong enough can I deliver you to the right destination.
How can this be? You have returned. But how were you able to get back in? And how come you have not changed at all in all these years? This is a duel to remember. It is as if we have returned to the moment when the laws of eternity were first established. Your will today is as strong as it was back then. Over countless battles, not once have you lost, and never have you shown the slightest hesitation. Had I made all enemies of eternity stand against you, you still would not have wavered. For your firm commitment to enforcing the rules, you have my admiration. You bring honor to the title of Guardian of Eternity. Now these two return once more to this space. Then, let this be our final duel. The conclusion to that which began 500 years ago. Final duel? Stand back, traveler. I'm going to be the start of something new. The time our duels took to fight was long enough to witness the rise and fall of nations. The energy that consumed, great enough to vaporize the oceans and turn day into night. And the will they demanded, sufficient to penetrate minds and crush dreams. Yet, you have endured. I will endure forever. Will never be eroded nor destroyed! Illusion shattered! Inferior! There is no escape! Eternity is in my hands! This is the end. You have won. I believed you were incapable of transcending the past. But it seems my belief was baseless, and I underestimated your spirit. But a will that cannot be eroded has no way to embrace the future. You need not worry about the future, and you aren't alone. I know your power more than anyone else. Had I relied upon my strength alone, I would have lost this duel for sure. Yet, my reason for fighting redefined my martial prowess and redrew my limits. I now carry the gaze of the myriad of expectant eyes that look to the light in the heavens. And whenever I think of this, I feel something stirring within Musou Ishin. The blade that I inherited from Makoto seems to be trying to guide me, to encourage me. I noticed it also. Just now in the heat of battle, it seemed to unleash a new and unfamiliar power. This power is beyond the limits of my understanding. This blade belonged to Makoto. Perhaps it can only respond to me with its full power when I truly understand and believe in her. When I clasped Musou Ishin in my hands, I had the feeling that she was by my side once again. It was at once a familiar feeling and a strange one. Makoto barely wielded a blade in her life, and yet her blade brings me closer to her. You have my approval. Your present will is not the product of erosion. I shall no longer stop you from attempting to modify the rules. From this day forth, this body will remain your assistant. I won't design any more rules that can never be changed. You used to represent my past, but from today onward, you are me. Makoto never saw me as a fearless weapon. Likewise, I should not regard you as a mere tool. You truly have changed. I suppose this is what humans call growth. I understand. I shall become your shadow, just as you were once Makoto's shadow. The duties I perform will not change. But as a warrior, I look forward to the chance to fight like this again in the future. Do you say this because you have not yet reconciled yourself with your defeat? It was simply a new experience for me. One that is worth reliving.
Have you finished fighting then? Like, for real this time?
Hello, A. And greetings, those who have come to bear witness. I am Raiden Makoto, the previous Electro Archon, who failed in my duties and left you all to pick up the pieces. Makoto? I'm so happy. You've come so far. I always knew you would make it here in the end. I left a faint fragment of my will in Muso Ishin, so that in the moment that you unleashed its full power, I too would be released. A convoluted way to reach you, but... well, you held such deeply entrenched views at the time that you wouldn't have listened to a word I said. There was no time to wait for you to have a change of heart. Please forgive me. All I could do was find some way to wait until you came to me. But... you never mentioned this to me. Everything happened so suddenly. I'm sorry. I've always felt terrible for having to entrust Inazuma to you all of a sudden. I should have been the one to impart these ideas to you, a little at a time, to dissuade you from your pursuit of stillness. Did you know what was about to happen in Khaenri'ah? I had some sense of it. That place was not somewhere that any Archon could afford to ignore. In my present form, I can no longer perceive time. I don't know how long we have been separated before this reunion, and I don't know what Inazuma has experienced in the but I know that this must have been an extremely arduous journey for you. And I'm sure you must have wanted to shed tears many times along the way. Don't look down on me. See? You admit it. It was with this possibility in mind that I left a parting gift for you. Something to soothe Here, take it. Before my last shred of consciousness fades away, that it is you who must take the most important step.
A seed?
The miracle tree that blesses the people, in this moment new to the world and yet to be known. When to plant it, where it shall bloom. She who brings it into being must let her heart and dreams decide. Grant it life, eh? Is it really? Eternity extends time into infinity. Dreams illuminate each moment within. When both shine in unison, the sacred Sakura blooms from the darkness, finally free from the clutches of the heavenly principles. Now the nightmare has dissipated, and reality is made whole. The vision we both yearn for is still further ahead. My only regret is that I cannot witness Inazuma's future, nor can I walk this journey with you. Do you know, A? I am so happy right now, because my final wish has now come true. Your polearm once protected me from countless calamities. For this, I've always felt indebted to you. Though I could never repay you in full, this sacred Sakura will buy you some time until you are ready to awaken and embrace the new. What do you think? Did it do the trick? This time, it really is goodbye, eh? Goodbye, Makoto.
So the A of the present planted the sacred Sakura in the realm of consciousness, and it took root in the Inazuma of the past. No matter what you make of it, it's quite incredible.
All of this is thanks to Makoto's power. Her understanding of eternity is much more profound than mine. Eternity is a concept intimately connected with time. When you begin to touch on eternity, the concept of time becomes murky.
A place where time is meaningless and cannot be understood with order. Perhaps that is the reason why you were able to return. And yet, that sense of disorderliness has now...
I don't fully understand yet.
Well...
Without the sacred Sakura, Ina's...
I know you've always perceived... You've tried in the past to prove...
No.
But don't you...
The sacred Sakura is...
Now...
I'm joking. And obviously I played my part too. It's fair to say that very little time passed between the moment you came out of the Traveler, if I'm guessing correctly. At that time, I could sense A's whereabouts. Suffice to say, fortunately, your will was strong enough that the turbulence carried you to the moment in time most likely to be the flow of
Does that mean it wasn't by chance that we ended up at the final duel? We were always meant to be there to witness what was going to happen?
I thought that the flow of time was the same on the inside and the outside. So it was a great shock to me when the Traveler reappeared. My first thought was, has a great disaster befallen Inazuma? But it turned out you had come to rescue me. You came for my sake, to help me reach the best possible outcome. You too have my thanks. You have done much for me, and I will never forget it.
A, how are you feeling now?
My body has fully recovered, and the Shogun's will no longer fights against me.
Always thrilled to hear you're in good health. But I was really asking about your emotions. Have you managed to calm down? After all, you saw Makoto in there, didn't you?
I only heard her voice. I wouldn't say I saw her. I'll be fine. It brought a few things back, of course, but I've made my decision to move forward. I have to say, this has reminded me once again just how brilliant Makoto was. She predicted all the ways in which Inazuma's future could unfold, all the way back then. She even factored my immaturity into her plan. It's all thanks to her that Inazuma lived to see this day. I just planted a seed.
Yeah, it was thanks to everything you did that you got to see her again.
Thank you.
Today, at long last, you and Inazuma finally emerge from the shadows cast by the events of centuries. Makoto and you are Inazuma.
It's rare to hear such comforting words from you.
Oh, come on.
Makoto said the...
Great minds think alike, hmm? I wonder, does that qualify me? Actually, no. Forget.
We will have to end the frivolities there. The Shogun and I will closely review. After that, I will...
Really? That's huge news!
I am no longer pursuing an eternity defined by stasis. In which case, there is no further need to keep the nation under lock and key. I don't doubt that many challenges lie ahead for Inazuma. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm hungry. Let's hunt.
Another bad one? Oh, let me try again. May the blossoms of the sacred Sakura bloom eternally.
I've told you already, I don't go in for that kind of thing. I've got more important matters to attend to.
Oh, but this event has commemorative significance. The church hopes that all sisters will be present.
Hopes? That's odd, because I don't recall a fulfill the hopes of others clause in my job description.
I mean, sure, but...
But what? You're the event organizer, aren't you? Do you not find it the least bit odd?
What do you mean?
This far out from Mondstadt at this hour? Even if you set out right now, I'll wager you'd still miss the opening ceremony. Who knows? Maybe this is someone's grand plan to make a fool.
Huh? Well, that can't be.
Evidence decides what people are like, not your feelings. Don't fret. Nobody's gonna blame you if you go back empty-handed. I can't imagine anyone else was delusional enough to think I was gonna show up. But if you dally any longer, you really won't make it.
You're right. It's a very important commemorative event. If I'm late, then... right, I've gotta get going.
I thought I heard something.
We'd better watch out.
Oh, really?
Wait, she heard that? But...
And as for this the honorary knight that saved us from Storm Terror. Well then, given your status, I won't press you on your reasons for eavesdropping. Otherwise, depending on your answer, I could have arrested you on the spot.
What? Do the Sisters of Mondstadt have the authority to arrest people now?
We can't go turning a blind eye to hidden dangers, can we? Why shouldn't sisters have a sense of...
That doesn't sound right. But Paimon can't think of a good comeback.
Let's talk about you. What are you doing in the mountains? If it's him you're after, I made a point of noting his tracks. Many people have made their way up after the snowstorm. Let's hope they're still there.
So, are you also looking for him?
No, this is just a professional habit of mine. I sensed elemental traces in these tracks. Never hurts to be vigilant. I couldn't care what you think. Come on then. I'd like to see what he's up to anyway.
Rosaria said there were elemental traces in the tracks. They should show up pretty clearly with elemental sight.
You know, little Pixie, your ability to appear and disappear at will is very interesting.
Yeah?
After committing a crime, you'd be able to leave the scene without a trace.
You're so suspicious. Why is Paimon a criminal in your example?
Let's end this quickly!
You're toast!
There.
Everybody stand back! Get out of here! Out of the way!
Let's end this quickly! What are you... That seemed to work. Let's waste time.
Out of the way! That's gonna hurt in the morning!
I must counterattack! Finally, some quiet.
Let's light it up!
Let's end this quickly.
Out of the frying pan, into the fire! Eat this!
This isn't good.
None of this will go to waste. It's getting colder and colder. Rosaria, aren't you freezing?
Me? I'm all right. I got used to operating in adverse conditions a long time ago.
Huh? Seems like there's more to being a sister in the Favonius Church than Paimon realized. Is that Albedo? Why would he hang around a place like this?
The word on the street is he loves painting. He'll hang around anywhere for a good landscape. The views and scenery here are pretty good. Potential paintings everywhere.
But can't he see those hilly churros? Isn't he in danger? Uh-oh. Looks like we startled them. Enough talk! Let's take them out of the picture first.
With sword comes shadow. Don't blink. Incoming. Hey!
Who are you? Why did you alarm them? Thank the gods I'd already completed my painting. Would have been a shame to leave these particular hilly churls unfinished.
What's up with painting hilly churls? What makes them so interesting?
I'm afraid the answer isn't easy to explain. If you'd like to have a look at my painting, it may give you a clue.
Wow! Look at the detail! But some of it seems to have been...
You can find these hilly churls anywhere. Quite boring, in fact. Not worth closer inspection. But take a look at this specimen. The build, the coat, and there's a distinct force at work here. In the cyclical lives of such primitive communities, such unique attributes are an indication of evolution at work. Evolution, the transition from nothing into existence, from the known to the
Hold your horses. Something tells me we're in for a thesis and I haven't got the stamina. We found your man. I'm headed back.
What? Don't you have any questions for him? Hey! What a weirdo.
So Sister Rosaria brought you. Surprising. And I didn't have time to thank her, but back to the point. From her words, it seems that you were looking for me?
Mm-hmm. We
I see. So Sucrose sent you here. Then, if I'm not mistaken, I've heard a bit of everything. I'll skip to the conclusion. There's only one possibility after all. You came from afar. Excellent. If I could procure your assistance, I think my research would forgive me. This must be confused.
Whoa, whoa. You want to start with that?
You're right. For example, awakening life. Breathing new life into fallen leaves.
You can do that?
However, I have a particular seed in my possession. The method I'm talking about has produced no results. It's like you, in that it hails from another world. Helping...
Well, if you're...
I beg to differ, but you're not from the known world.
Shall we just get out of here?
It's possible. Time for a change of...
Albedo and that traveler seem to have hit it off. Takes a weirdo to know one, I guess. I wonder, does this constitute a risk to Mondstadt?
Come on, enough procrastinating. Let's go.
Don't blink! Nowhere to hide. Speed of light. A question. After the seed sprouts, will it grow into anything?
I don't know. But I feel the importance will lie in the method, not using alchemy to after awakening.
No. Paimon's got a brain.
Well, if it's...
Yay! Paimon's holding you to it.
Well, the subject of how you're able to... Firstly, do you have any extra organ? Fascinating.
What a stupid... And another thing!
I was merely considering the possibility that... Oh, but that would mean that...
Hey!
In that case, given that there's clear... Firstly, let me lure a few slime...
Huh?
Direct and clear observe... Naturally, if you require...
Slimes! Slimes are fine!
Well, prepare...
Teamwork is dreamwork! Yeah! Huh?
Great work. Did you feel anything out of the ordinary? If you're injured, I have a few emergency potions ready. Excellent. According to my observations, the manifestation of the external element... Now that we know that the...
Internals?
It's very simple. If the elemental power is stored or accumulated physically...
Sounds kinda...
Don't worry.
And...
If anything unexpected occurs... well, it's not just a warning. If an internal... yes, that's an... It's a type of... I'll take you to my... All going to...
Paimon? Let's keep her...
Here. Should do for catalyst purposes.
You're toast! Nice and spicy! Race you! Out of the frying pan, into the fire!
This one. Usable with a bit of polish. What luck. This should be enough. My campsite is just up ahead. I'll lead the way. This is my campsite. I've added the materials we collected to the concoction. While we are waiting, have a look over here. My assistant Timaeus here is helping me with my research.
Hello! I've just gotten hold of the data from your experiment. The report is already up on the board.
Whoa! Look at all the data! You got all these results from one slime battle?
I wouldn't call them results, inferences, and a few daring guesses, perhaps. I think the most rational direction would be to expound on the phylogenetic relation. Consider following this line of...
Not bad for a point of entry. But strictly speaking, slimes are elemental life forms. A cryoregisfon in that sense.
Yes.
After all, if it turned out that...
Ah, it would. Speaking of day...
Great, I'll leave you to it. Looks like the potion's ready. In line with my expectations. Ready to drink. Remember to keep calm at all times, and breathe deeply if you feel unwell.
I keep watch. You leave, you call me.
Tasty? You've got a funny look on your face. You said you tried some already. You sure it was ready?
Oh, this was the result I was expecting. And a very positive. This potion channels elemental power into the body. Under normal circumstances, a repelling reaction is to be expected. But if the internal elemental flow is unimpeded, you'll only experience momentary discomfort. Once the flow is complete, there won't be any other effects.
So you knew you'd be sick and still drink?
It was my own concoction, of course. Only natural for me to be the guinea pig. But of course, you're my assistant. By all sense and reason, it would be wrong of me to place that risk onto you. In conclusion, I'd say we have our conclusion. As far as elemental energy is concerned, you're no different from anyone else in this world. Nothing peculiar.
Aw, Paimon wanted something cooler to happen.
Then again, better an ordinary result than a peculiar result. Peculiar results have a tendency to be of the undesirable variety. The good thing about ordinary is that everything is an object of reference, and everyone understands you. People are the same, they can understand, empathize, encourage, and support one another. When you're sick, a doctor can diagnose you because they are you. When something goes wrong, you can ask people who've made the same mistake for their experience because you are them. But a peculiar person, they don't have much recourse for the things we take for granted. For example, a human can't understand the life of a pyroregisfine. To sum up, Timaeus, the results of the new experiment are out.
Just a moment, sir. I'll handle it. Having you down...
Not bad. I think it...
You can...
Is he trying to what?
If you're interested...
Here comes Albedo! Let's go see him!
I smell rabbit.
An elemental life form from another world. As soon as Albedo's research will see huge...
I'm back. Did you see anything interesting? Not to worry. Well, there may be significant... Take Teyvat, for example, but worlds may well... So, I think answering this question calls for the same method... No. You Now, see this pillar here? Use your willpower to try and break it. That was your best...
What's with the
I'm curious to see how the taste and texture respond. Anyway...
Cooking?
Not only is this
That does sound yummy, though.
I'll leave you to it then, if there's anything left.
How are we gonna channel elemental power into the food?
That was fast.
Where does it get these ideas from anyway? Let's just...
That was fast. An average outcome experimentally, but as far as the proliferation unless...
We just didn't...
Not to worry. And here's your...
Woohoo! Thanks! Glad you...
I can tell that you're good friends. Paimon was keeping an... Not that Paimon would have been able to do much.
Hey! But you do have tasty recipes, so... And you're right, we are good friends.
Yes. I'm fortunate. There are all manner of alchemical items. I managed to retrieve the majority, but 2 vials have been...
Paimon's barely finished eating, and you want us to...
Don't worry if you can't locate them. I was planning to replace them anyway. Though, if you had, say, a superpower, like night vision or vibratory sensing, a lost property would be a thing of the past. I must have dropped them somewhere in the area where you were looking just now.
So, guess we'd better take a look. Oh, yeah! This must be electrohypostasis powder. The extract of an animo crystal fly can only be animo elemental energy, right?
Goodness, you managed to find them. I'm wondering, this elemental sight, this is what...
Yep, guess it does.
Unfortunately, though elemental sight is seldom seen, it is not only a never-before-seen otherworldly power would...
You mean...
Don't be disheartened. I have to come... Right then. Up until now, in essence, looking out from where we're standing. Can you see what Sucra... And if you jumped from here and landed on that cliff, the one over... So what about if you planted a single blow on the mountain face? I know of a location.
Still in one piece! Good thing the vial's so strong. To jump? From up here?
Not necessarily. Not if you know of a better method, that is. Whichever method you choose, the experiment will end when you reach the opposite shore of the lake. I will factor the time expended and your top speed into my comparative analysis.
The opposite side of the lake. So...
Without limitations, we complete tasks intuitively, using the method. Some of us would be unable to. No matter what choice you make, it's all a part of the experiment. Then if you would, please.
Wait a minute! While we're busy testing, what exactly are you gonna be doing?
Me? Recording data, responding to risks, providing, emotional support.
So if we do decide to go swimming, you gonna dive in with us?
No. Unless you're thinking of conducting competitive research?
Oh! Forget Paimon said anything.
Great work. I've never seen a performance quite like it. Your reputation precedes you, Traveler.
But you followed...
Me? If it turns out, if the natural law, the innumerable...
But how does this...
You've helped me to unravel many of the problems that were holding... I may be about gold. The essence of the... I'm willing to pour all these things...
Oh, so that's...
Precisely.
So after all...
Of course not. Now, follow me. I imagine you must have encountered more than a few conundrums during your travels. I'd like to observe your intelligence by means of a practical test of your capabilities, much as we did for the physical test.